So
Mm.
Mark Evans, McConaghy Boats, 50 years of building composites for the world's toughest conditions and customers, more Maxi Yacht Line honor wins than any other builder, cutting edge design, world leading technologies. And on that note, Mark, congratulations on, as Angie just shared, being announced by America's Cup that you are going to build the AC40, correct?
Yeah, so we're building all the AC40s for all the teams, which is
Wow.
yeah, pretty incredible. Yeah, so we're very excited about that.
That's amazing. Congratulations. I mean, that
Yeah,
must be a significant lifetime achievement, I would imagine, yes?
yeah, I know. I mean, these boats are incredible boats. Plus 45 knots falling along, in a 40 footer. So I mean, the, these will be the fastest 40 footers in the planet. So this is pretty incredible to be involved in the whole process of it.
And on that note, how did that come to fruition if you're able to discuss any of the intricacies, if you don't mind if we jump into that for a moment? Because that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing some work with Grant Dalton, and we've formed a bit of a relationship there, and we were able to put a bid in, and he knows our workmanship, he knows our facility here in Hong Kong, China, and um, and he was very comfortable because we had that relationship. So I think these boats for the teams is partly they have to try and keep the price point down to some degree, um, and we're able to offer the quality at a good price point. So I think that's how it all came about.
And then what's the scale of that project? What is the time frame? What does that then mean for you as a company in taking on that project currently?
It's quite a task. I mean, our facility is quite busy already. We've already basically kicked off on the project, and we will like in by February we have all the tooling done, and then we start building
Wow.
the first one. And once we've started the first one, every 4 weeks, every 3 to 4 weeks, another boat will be coming out of the factory. So it's going to be
Wow.
quite intense.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, we're scaling from that team will scale from about 6 people to 8 people, kicking off up to 70.
That's amazing. Well,
Yeah,
congratulations, and a challenge, right? A challenge to
yeah,
to
it's a
elevate.
challenge.
And one of course, my questions, and you segued into it perfectly. Uh, yeah, a moment ago, you said we're already, of course, incredibly busy, and so one, have you in since you successfully, I mean, what you've done with the company is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So congratulations on
Thank you.
that. Yeah, just really impressive. And doing what you've done with the company and now then getting to last year where there was that brief moment in time, March, April of last year when COVID hit and everyone
Yeah,
of course didn't know what was going to happen. But then of course in your industry, it became, and it still is, one of the most unprecedented times in the business. And
yeah.
so how has that been for you over the past 2 years, really, for the sake of conversation, and then now? Really, I would think that this accomplishment with America's Cup really is almost a segue in leading up to what you've accomplished leading up to last year, then over the past 2 years, and then now into the next phase, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've always been like a custom Grand Prix builder, and that segment of the marketplace is quite small. So I wanted to use our skill set in producing, beautiful luxury yachts, but also have them performance orientated. So, I mean, we've been trying to sort of push into that marketplace for a long time. And there was a bit of market resistance, like the market wasn't actually ready for it. Um, and then the multi hull market started to take off. And we had a couple of sort of, we dipped our toe into that a couple of times. and the boats that we produced initially were a little bit too performance orientated and not so much luxury orientated. So about 4 or 5 years ago, we started a new series of these MC multi hulls, um, and they're a performance multi hull with a beautiful interior, and it takes a while. Basically, it's setting up a brand new business, and people didn't really know us because we're such a niche little tiny company, really boutique, and that segment of the marketplace didn't know us. So it's taken a while to build that side of the business up. Now the marketplace knows us, and with the coronavirus, basically everything stopped around the world. And I mean, the factory had orders, but we had like 3 or 4 yachts on the go at the time. Mm-hmm. And those boats were going out of the factory and finishing and so forth. I'm going, okay, this is going to get difficult. And then the next thing, the inquiries just started coming in, and it takes a while with clients, which is understandable, to turn an inquiry into a job, and that inquiry level is on a steep curve up still.
Yeah.
And we're finding that inquiry level, the people that are inquiring, they all know about us already. So all this work in the past years of putting our name out there has come off, and then and the buyers that are talking to us are well educated about the product, and they're real. So we're growing at a rapid pace.
Well, and speaking of that, you mentioned it so well. The work that you've put into it, you've under your helm, in the past 10 years, you've tripled in size, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we still have the Australian arm of the business, which is really good, and it's going quite strong. It's still constructing yachts and some very high tech ones, and it also does high tech sort of composite work, not just yachts. So industrial or other parts of the marketplace, and it does refit. So in Australia, we sort of hover around the 40-50 staff. And it has about 1,500 square meters of facility. In the China facility, we're 20,000 square meters, and we're heading towards the 300 staff.
Amazing. Yeah. And now with respect to the number of inquiries that are coming, isn't it exciting in that it's, at least from what we're hearing, it's both with those that have been, they've owned before. This is perhaps a second, third, or fourth. But then also there are a few brokers have mentioned to me over the past few weeks in these conversations. What's also exciting is there's a lot of new blood coming in, people that haven't necessarily, or their families haven't owned yachts and boats before, and now they're getting into it. And again, this is in correlation with the pandemic and COVID and whatnot. Are you seeing that as well?
Yeah, no, definitely seeing that. I mean, we're getting some really novice type, but they're educated and they understand the yachting. A yacht, they just didn't want to sit on it and cruise around in the local area. They're looking for, most of our clients that come to us are looking for ocean-going yachts that have a performance aspect to it. But at the same time, they're very clear going, we don't want super high performance, and that's not what we're after. After a performing yacht that is well appointed, and that's what we can deliver. And so these clients, we have to walk through every aspect of the boat, all the systems, regeneration, solar panels, hydrogeneration, all those things. So even for me, coming from a racing boat background, I've had a pretty steep learning curve, and on all those systems, and those systems are changing so quickly because the marketplace is developing so fast. So it's an interesting time to develop our yachts around sort of green energy type arrangements.
Right, absolutely. I love that you bring that up, and that's interesting because We have a few clients that are now focusing on that and more significantly, and which is a great thing. Obviously, we want to see that. We have to see that, right?
Yeah,
Global as a global society.
yeah.
And with respect to those novice or newer buyers that you're seeing, do they tend to? I would think that a higher percentage of those tend to be more inclined to already be keen to that. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's every single client is talking to us about it. Every
Good.
single one.
That's great.
And different clients push it to different levels. So, I mean, simply we can cover the boat with solar panels, and we do it in a nice way, so it doesn't destroy the aesthetics of the boat.
Right.
And then you've got hydrogen generation. We've had many conversations about hydrogen generation, but we haven't got into that, in depth with any particular client at this point in time. But electric propulsion is on everybody's tongue. And then, but that becomes a management exercise due to just the energy density of lithium ion batteries. So, but we're getting, we understand it more. We can do load studies. We talk it through with our clients. We bring in electrical engineers. So it becomes quite a task talking that side of the boats through.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. And as you
Yeah.
touched upon, another part of that learning curve that is simply spiraling upwards, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So, 3 years ago, my electrical knowledge was quite low, and now I can talk quite confidently about the electrical systems on a yacht and navigation systems, etc. Where hydraulics and the mechanical side, due to my racing yacht background, I was quite strong on, but the whole electrical side is a totally different world. These
Right,
boats are systems rich.
right. Yeah, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, with respect to your amazing building history, I mean, let's discuss some of that. Let's start. Andy suggested starting with Adastra.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Adastra was, it was an incredible build. And the boat is just fantastic looking. It achieved everything that I think the client was looking for. It was very much a development project. We started off with a relatively simple brief, and the project just evolved. So it took us about 2.5 years to build the boat, and the reason for that is that it was quite new, and as we're going through that build process, the client's wishes changed as well, as in finishes and the level of systems that he wanted on board. Again, another systems rich project, but Adastra, yeah, I mean, 140 odd feet long. Can circumnavigate the world on one, or halfway around the world on one tank of fuel.
Amazing.
So super efficient. And yeah, overall, happy client, really nice family, and we produced a nice product.
Amazing product.
Yeah,
and
and
ama-
all that done in the facility we're in currently today, still in China.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And when you, especially now during this time with the number of new inquiries, the number of new builds that you're doing, do you use significantly elements from, say, Adastra with respect to what you learned in building it as you apply to your new builds? Or is each and every one for you completely different and you look at it without deflecting to the or tapping into the past?
We always tap into the past. I mean, you've got the history, you've got the knowledge base. So there's definitely aspects that we use from Adastra, but as we get into this semi-production, performance luxury sort of multi-hull range, we're building systems within the factory, and we're transferring those systems throughout every build. Every boat has a difference. Boats are very customized. We even changed the, structure, the fly bridges, all that is very customized to a particular client.
Right.
And it should be. So, I mean, really, we're offering a platform which a client can come along and build really their own yacht from that platform, which makes a significant difference to the cost of the yacht, because otherwise you go into a full custom, and that gets quite expensive.
Right. Right. And so, but you're
So
building bespoke, custom, unique, one of a kind vessels for each individual.
yeah, we are. I mean, basically, we've got an engineered platform which we amortize that engineering and some of the tooling that we have developed, and then really the rest of the boat is bespoke for the clients.
That's a fantastic model. And then I love this quote, Wild Oats, words about from the skipper. It's a freak of a boat. You just don't get 10-year-old boats in our sport even being competitive. So it's just a freak to still do what it's doing. I love that quote.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that was a quite incredible build. That was the last yacht that I was actually involved in the build before I came to Asia, that I built in Sydney. So yeah, I mean, again, that was a great family. They're great, very enjoyable build. We built it very quick. I think we got the order 9 months before the race. So we were running to build that boat, and we were building another sister ship, Maxi, right beside it at the same time. So our factory in Sydney at that point in time doubled in numbers, and we didn't get a lot of sleep that year.
Right. But you did it. How many are you building right now? How many do you currently have in production?
We have 7 on our factory floor. I think 7, yeah. So we've got sailing, we've got a 52, a 55, and 2 75s under construction. And power, we have 2 63s and an 82.
And
Yeah.
amazing. And with respect to the number of inquiries that you're seeing right now, do they tend to be coming from throughout the globe? Or are you seeing them in more so from certain geographies?
All over.
All over.
All over. Yeah. I mean, we've got US, European inquiries, UK. We're building for Australia. We've got builds for New Zealand. So it's all over the place at the moment, which is really, really quite good. So the inquiries are just steady and like I say, qualified buyers that are talking to us.
It was a renowned broker I was speaking to probably about 3 weeks ago now that said, and then the broker I was speaking to the week after reaffirmed it, that for every available vessel, yacht, boat, etc., that's on the market right now, there are 9 to 10 qualified buyers ready to pull the trigger, and that it's never even been remotely close to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't seen the industry like this from my perspective. I mean, this is a new part of the segment of the industry which is new to us. We've been in this side of the multi-hull market for a little while now, and it is incredible. I mean, when we were in Australia and we were building maxi yachts, we were very lucky. From about 2000 to 2008, 2010, we had a full order book. We were taking build slot deposits on maxi yachts, and we were probably one of the few companies that were doing that at the time. There was a couple of others around the world, but so I mean that was an incredible time building Grand Prix racing yachts, and we were pushing, these. We always had 2 yachts in our factory at the same time under construction. Never had a break, which was fantastic. So this time now here at this point of time, it's incredible. It's just a different segment of the marketplace that is definitely taking off.
Absolutely taking off, and Yeah, it just what an exciting time to be doing what you're doing. You've just an exciting moment in your career for for you personally, for the company, and in my humble opinion, and I think the opinion of many, it's this isn't going to stop anytime soon. If anything, it's going to
No,
continue to accelerate and grow and build at an accelerated pace. Absolutely, regardless now of what happens, whether there's another pandemic, whatever it might be, this now has really and it's one of the silver linings of the pandemic in my opinion, in that it forced people to take a step back, realize this life, this is precious, and to live it live it to the
yeah,
best. One of the best ways that I can do that, especially in our in the luxury or the affluent world, is by owning a boat, by owning a yacht, and spending time on it with my friends and my family. Right?
yeah, absolutely. I think, I mean, you're 100% right. Is that people have had time to sit back and assess and go, okay, this is what I want to do. I mean, clients that are talking to us are talking about, who they're bringing on board, what family they're bringing on board, the age of if their grandchildren are coming on board. So we're
Yeah.
actually designing around the yachts, around what they see that how they're going to use their yacht and who with. Um, and the other side, I think, for a while there when the pandemic just hit, is that a lot of people couldn't move. Everybody was very stationary. So I think that gave people time to think about things, like you say. And also, a lot of these high net worth individuals,
Yeah.
um, they're very busy people in before the pandemic, and we had time to have a conversation, even though it might be through Zoom or other means. They had the time to actually think about what they actually want if they were to purchase a luxury yacht. And that's where I think, at the beginning, that's what I saw. I agree with you. It's reflecting on life.
It is, and also within everything that you just said so perfectly, thank you, is with respect, as you put it, with those that have the means, with those that are affluent in the luxury world, is I have the means to do this, and why am I not doing it? And on
Yeah,
that note, when am I going to do it? And why haven't I done it
yeah,
yet? And so now it's really realizing. And again, that's a beautiful thing. And so it's just, and then it's also amazing, quite frankly, from a very upper level, black and white, objective standpoint, to see, really just to look at it and for you to experience it, to see what was there and just simply wasn't being utilized this way. For the most part, it was really just being held on to. And now it's being utilized in such a beautiful way. It was from
mm,
brokers to builders to, I spoke to a captain about a month ago and I asked him just quite simply, I said, why does someone want to own a boat? Why does someone want to have a new build? Why does someone want to buy a brand new yacht, buy a used, whatever it might be? And he said he said number one reason, to spend time with friends and family. And
mm.
you just answered that exactly spot on as well. So it's a beautiful thing. And for you, and to be doing so expertly what you guys do, to be at this time in your industry, it just must be so rewarding and exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I've been now in Asia for 16 years. And part of the reason that we came here was to establish, a well-established business that would, move into the future. And, I mean, I personally have a passion for building yachts and beautiful product, whether it's a race yacht or a luxury boat. And I sort of going, okay, it took a bit longer than what I hoped, but now we're sort of going, yes, this is now we've got an established business which can produce these type of product for individuals that want to customize and produce something that is very much theirs.
Right. That's a legacy piece
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
become something that's in the family for decades potentially.
Yeah, and all our clients love the process. I mean, I have weekly calls with just about every single one of my clients, and the whole process of going through the construction. I mean, they learn as well, and we learn off them.
Right.
And and it's an enjoyable process on both sides.
And do you find that you get certain inspirations or concepts from having those consistent or the consistent building engagement with your clients during the process, correct? Do they often ask you questions or give you something that you may not have seen that they bring to your attention simply by asking a question that they didn't know the answer to?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, to be honest, I might not know the answer either. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then I have to go out and I have to find out about it. So there's this constant turnover of this sort of knowledge base that you're building. Um, yeah, I mean, it definitely our clients always have been steered or always have steered the business. They push us to a new direction, to a new level of finish or a new level of technology. They're reading everything as much as we're reading everything.
Right.
And the next thing you know, they see something and go, Mark, can we do this? And I go, I don't know. Let me do some research. And the next thing you go, okay, yeah, I think we can do that. And that's the fun part where we're not productionized. I mean, we can instantly turn on a penny and change direction and give the client exactly what they're looking for. And it will take us to the next level of technology or whatever it may be or finish.
So, yeah, it's so exciting to be able to be that nimble and at the same time create the masterpieces that you create. That's
Yeah.
it's a very unique to be able to do that, and how exciting for your clients. And I would imagine that I believe you touched upon it, but the percentage of new clients that you have that are referrals from your other clients, it must be very high, correct?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our clients talk to each other as well. So if we've got a new build or a new contract coming up, we refer them to our past clients, and our past clients are definitely the salespeople for us, which is really really quite nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. That
Yeah,
speaks volumes about what you do and how you do it.
yeah, yeah.
Mark, thank you so much for taking the time, my friend. And now that I've taken 30 minutes of your time, I don't want to take too much more. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that I should have, or that we didn't talk about that we should have that you would like to now?
No, I think we've probably covered most things. I mean, um, yeah, I mean the business is a bit more diversified than just yachts, but that's a small segment of the company. But you know, I'm happy. Thank you.
Of course. I mean, I was going to, since you slightly opened that door. Of course, I was going to bring up James Cameron submarine. Speaking of that aspect, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I mean that boat, that submarine, all um, sort of developed. Somebody knew us in the US through the yachting industry, and they were getting components built in the US, and they were putting these components in a pressure chamber, high pressure chamber, and they had to test them at the pressure what that submarine would see, and the components were failing due to like air ingress or quality or whatever it may be. And somebody suggested that they talk to us, so they flew out one little tiny mold of the submarine. They asked us to build one part, so we built this part as a test sample, and we flew it back to the US, and they tested it, and it passed. They said build another one, so we built another one. We tested and it passed, and then the next thing before we knew it, they flew all the tooling over to us, and we built all the composite components for the submarine. So it was a pretty incredible job.
And what a fantastic story.
Yeah.
That came out of left field, right?
Yeah, left field, and that's how it sort of happens with us. People in the Grand Prix or even in the yachting industry know what we manufacture and how we do it, and then the next thing you know, you get a very interesting phone call from a totally different product range that you would never have thought of building.
Right, right. And
Yeah,
then the next adventure begins.
That's right. You scratch your head and go, how am I going to do this?
Exactly, or rock and roll, whatever the term might be. But here we go. And but
Yeah.
knowing, but looking at what you have done and how you've done it, you know that you can do it, and again, that's what makes it so exciting. And and again, case in point, circling back, congratulations on the America's Cup um, builds that you're going to be doing, the AC40. That's just absolutely incredible. Amazing.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. And we're going to, again, it's going to be a steep learning curve, which will be a lot of fun as well.
It seems, yeah, what an amazing way to start out 2022, though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, no worries, no worries. Mark, thank you so much for your time. Mark Evans, McConaghy Boats and McConaghyBoats.com. We're so thrilled to be working with you, and love Roxanne, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. You're very not that you need me to tell you this, but so fortunate to be working with that wonderful team there. And
Yeah, they're great.
they're great. They're great. And
I think every time I call them, I think they pull their hair out though.
I love it. Good stuff, Mark. Thank you so much,
Okay.
man. I'm looking forward
All
to
right.
I hope we get to do this again soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day there.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye
Take
bye.
care.